waited my entire life for this. The world's gonna start over. I'ma burn it all.
What happens now determines what happens to the rest of the world.
Hey guys, I need you to do me a favor. Help me fight the algorithm. Go ahead and hit like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon for new notifications. Thank you.
So let's move into the MCU.
Ooh, yes, Black Panther.
Which I gotta say, I'm very happy that we're not taking second look at these in actual like MCU release order or story.
Oh no, it's kind of good to jump around too, because
yeah, it is. I mean, though I would love to do a breakdown of them storyline by movie, but I know that would be at least a whole chore.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say this. Upon rewatch, I'm going to go ahead and double down. This is one of my favorite MCU movies.
Yeah.
This is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot how much I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah. And part of me, like, even watching, I'm like, oh, it sucks that he's gone. Chadwick does an amazing job in this movie.
When he and the actress who played Shuri, I always forget her name.
Letitia Wright.
Actual name. Thank you. Like, when you know Chadwick and Letitia were in their back and forth scenes, how it just seems so natural.
Yeah,
just their natural chemistry that they had. That's when that hit me. Like this is just such a special thing that we have with this movie, with him being gone. Though, yeah, I definitely watched it with a different lens this time with him after his passing, because I think this is like the first time I've watched this since his passing.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it since his passing either.
Yeah, because right after I watched the Jackie Robinson movie he made, because that's a good one.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
No, I've not seen the Jackie Robinson one.
That's a good one.
He is
Tunic's in that one.
Oh, nice. Well, he is a damn good actor. Like,
he is.
It's really like point out a bad performance by Chadwick Boseman. Good fucking luck. Good.
Yeah.
And yeah, what this movie does, which is interesting, is because Civil War already did, like, his father's dead and he has to take over the throne. And essentially, it feels like that's a setup for your first movie.
Yeah.
But what I love this movie does is this movie just follows straight from that. It, you know, yes, the father's dead. He's still learning the throne. But it follows it up really well with him reflecting on, you know, kind of the legacy of his father. You know, do I have to be like my father, or do I do this differently?
Or do I learn from, like, the mistakes of my father?
Yeah, exactly.
Ruler?
Yeah. Do I like stand by what my father did, or do I, like, you know, figure this out for myself?
Show some accountability, yeah.
Yeah, like, because a lot of them is, like, throughout the movie, especially the beginning, you have characters like his ex-girlfriend, Nakia, specifically, who's saying, you know, Wakanda could do a lot of good for the world if we're willing to reach out and help people. And he's like, no, that's not our way. We help ourselves. We have our own world. We're happy here. It's not our way to go out and interfere with other people. And it's what Killmonger brings to the table, which is Killmonger is essentially the evil version of Nakia's idea, where he's like, no, we're fucking taking this into the world and we're just gonna reconquer it.
Yeah.
And yeah, his motivations make sense. Michael B. Jordan kills it. One of the best MCU villains ever, easily.
Oh, hands down, one of the best villains ever.
One thing I like was a great touch, because, I mean, if you watch John Oliver, just recently, they did a museum episode talk about how, like, museums are mainly filled with stolen art. And the first scene of this is him in a museum, and she's like, oh, yeah, you know, this is from here. And he's like, well, actually, it was stolen, you know.
Yeah, no, actually, this was stolen.
Yeah, yeah, this was taken by colonizers. This was... I love that they're actually bringing that up 4 years before John Oliver brought up, which is something I never, honestly, it's nothing I never really thought about too much with museums. But yeah, that would be a lot of where they get their art. Yeah.
Nah.
I beg your pardon.
It was taken by British soldiers in Benin, but it's from Wakanda, and it's made out of vibranium.
No, and then I think a lot about it, and I think, No, rewatching that, I actually thought about the local museum here.
Yeah.
The Ohio Historical Society. They have a lot of indigenous, like, tribe artifacts there, and yeah. I'm not saying they 100% did. I'm just saying I believe 95% that they did.
Yeah.
I myself believe that.
Yeah, and I just
because I did watch that, John. I did watch that Oliver segment, and yeah, that's kind of that was kind of like that was an eye-opening thing to watch.
Yes,
and it was interesting, like you had just mentioned. Yeah, I had the same thought. Going, I really didn't want to have to think more on this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love that this movie's not afraid to dive into those ideas. The idea that Wakanda is just this really advanced civilization, but they just live off by themselves. They pretend like they're some third world primitive nation. Oh, we can't help anybody. We don't have any resources. Meanwhile, behind this fucking cloaking device, they have like the most advanced city in the world. It's like
the most advanced
shit.
Technology on the planet.
Yes. And I also love the dynamic internally within Wakanda, because like this is such an advanced civilization, but they are so like suffocated by all these old traditions. This, hey, let's fight for leadership. Let's, all this kind of honestly dumb shit that like they still haven't evolved out of. And I dig this movie. I dig what, the questions it asks about tradition and, just society. Is it right to actually try to make the world a better place? The answer, of course, is yes. But, lots of times tradition may not allow you to do that. And I like how, like, the villain is kind of, there's a lot of points the villain makes where it's like, yeah, he's not wrong, like, at all. There are moments where
I did find myself agreeing with him a lot throughout the whole movie.
I mean, he's a murderous psychopath, but then, like, he goes to make a point, and it's like, fuck, he's right on that one.
Y'all sitting up here comfortable. Must feel good. It's about 2 billion people all over the world that looks like us. But their lives are a lot harder. Wakanda has the tools to liberate them all.
I really like this. This is a great MCU movie, great comic book movie. And something else that's interesting is because I remember when I watched this movie, I thought the CGI was pretty weak, and CGI is fairly weak.
It is a little weak in this one.
But it is way better than a lot of the stuff we've gotten post-pandemic. It's an interesting change. Like, shit, I mean, watch that fight scene between Killmonger and T'Challa at the end. It looks way better than a lot of stuff in Love and Thunder. It genuinely does.
Yeah, it does.
And it's like, wow. Maybe I'm going to keep on saying it till it happens. CGI artists need to unionize, because this shit where they're, these studios are paying for the lowest bidder to do their shit, and it does half-assed stuff. This is not good, and these people are not making enough money to survive, I'm sure. They're making garbage money to do this work that they probably love. This is not a good system. It needs fixed.
No.
But, yes. So, I have a question for you.
Yeah. Because I got one for you, too.
Ooh, okay. I tell you what. Go ahead and shoot yours at me, because I'm trying to think how to phrase mine.
Killmonger had all those plants, all of the plants that give the Black Panther its power burnt. And we saw them getting burned.
Mm-hmm.
How many of them did they save?
That is a good question. They're probably going to have to address that in Wakanda forever. Because as far as I can tell, they only had one saved. Which is what
they
T'Challa
gave to the other tribe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the other tribe ended up giving to T'Challa to cure him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's...
So...
I like the dynamic between the tribes because you have the one tribe led by Daniel Kaluuya, and I cannot think of the name of that tribe. But they're like super friendly with him and T'Challa. They're super friendly throughout the whole movie. But when Killmonger takes over, his tribe just goes 100% behind Killmonger. And then the tribe they have to fall back on is the Jabari, the tribe that is historically their enemy. And honestly, I kind of dig the character of M'Baku, honestly. He is just kind of out there and weird and... messing
with them out of the gate.
Yeah.
If we don't eat you. I'm just kidding. We are vegetarians.
Yeah, no, he fucks with them a lot.
One more word, and I will feed you to my children. I'm kidding, we are vegetarians.
But, like, when it came down to it, he was there for them. He covered them. He had their backs.
He had their back when it came down to it, yeah.
Yes, and I kind of dig his character. I like him a lot. He's probably one of my favorite characters. Like,
we did see in Infinity War that the entire, all the tribes were united.
Yeah.
Just all the tribes were out there fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they were. But yeah, Andy Serkis is in this, and he was in Andor as well, and somehow we didn't mention him there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, holy crap!
Yeah,
Andy Serkis. Well, yeah. All right.
Yeah, somehow in this episode we've covered possibly the only two fucking projects in the universe where Andy Serkis is not behind CGI. It's just actor Andy Serkis.
Which I want him to get more roles. He's a great actor.
He's great at the CGI stuff, but he's great as just a regular actor. Like he's definitely got like a character down. Although Andor's different, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't want to see him in a romantic comedy, though. It would be nice to see the range, but it would be funny.
Yes, I would like to see him in a remake of Pretty Woman. He's gonna play the bellhop. No, I was gonna say he's got the Julia Roberts role.
It'll all be CGI.
Oh God!
It'll be a CGI Julia Roberts as motion cap by Andy Serkis.
We bring Richard Gere back, and then we have great behind the scenes footage. You have some fun with that. What would be crazy is that he'd probably nail it too.
He'd fucking nail it.
Yeah. But yeah, I love this movie. This is a damn good one.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.